I feel like I've met a lot of people in comedy who are, kind of lampoon, very cerebral, very smart, and often a bit aggressive.
Right.
And one thing that I've noticed over the course of the time that I've been watching you is it's really interesting. Like, I think sometimes people are so smart and kind of acidic, get more so over time, but you've somehow like become, I feel like you're like warmer and warmer. Not that you weren't like warm before, but I feel like you feel like I think I was a little scared the first time I met you because I was like, this guy's funnier than me and smarter, and I'm better educated, and it's very like brainy and fast, and now I feel like I could be kind of a little bit of a puddle or a little sloppy and not feel scared. Does that make any sense?
I never thought that I will say that I am happier at this stage of my life than I was at, I think, from in my 20s and 30s, and we've talked about this, but my 20s, 30s, 40s, just so much pressure all the time. And I like to think that I was, a good person and nice to people, but I definitely am a happier person now than I was then, because you just think, okay, this is who I am, and I'm doing the best I can. You come to this, you settle a little bit in this really nice way. But also, I think smart is way overrated.
I agree.
Smart is so overrated, and sometimes I went to this school where there were tons of, quote, smart people and who were much smarter than me. And in my career in show business, I've met tons of people who are smarter than me. They probably have a much higher IQ. I don't credit smart with a lot. I think I can think quickly and strangely, but I honestly don't think that counts as smart. And so I'm very suspicious of the whole thing, of this whole concept of who's the smartest here. Smart people have fucked up this world so many ways from Sunday, and I'm not impressed with smart. And when candidates are talking about how smart they are, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. I think your intent and what kind of heart do you have? That's much more interesting to me than smart, which almost gets a negative connotation sometimes.
Did you feel like you were more dazzled by intelligence when you were younger, or were you always kind of skeptical of it?
No, I think I probably was more impressed. You're more impressed with a lot of things when you're younger.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
You're younger, you're impressed with a lot of things, and then I always would see other people and think, oh man, I really want to be. I was, I put everybody else on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And as you know, you degrade yourself when you do that. And I was constantly not thinking that much of myself and thinking that these other people were gods and goddesses, and as that, who am I to blah, blah, blah. And then as time goes on, you start to understand that we're all in the muck. We're all tumbling around in the muck, trying to figure it out.
And I also think like reverence isolates both the revered and the reverencer. I don't know, the reverer. Like, because
man, you're not smart at all.
I see. Fuck.
I just realized I'm so much smarter than you.
No, don't push me out of here. Don't push me out. He's hitting me.
Did you guys hear that? The reverencer.
Oh no! I knew it was gonna happen.
I posed as a warm guy that wanted contact with you. Do you think I wanted to meet you outside and lead your car in?
Oh, it was all
no. Oh, I don't. I think other people are probably smarter than me. He bought it. I'm the smartest fucking man that ever lived. Sorry, that was crazy. What a weird sting operation.
Just to lure people in with like a promise of not being smart.
And somehow I buy it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time.
But wait a second.
No, you were talking about how if you revere people, I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. I remembered when I first got to meet and know Steve Martin a bit, just because, I mean, his poster was on my wall. And when Steve, I'm from an older generation, but when he hit in 77, 78, I just didn't think people could be that funny. I mean, it took my breath away.
Yeah.
And and a whole generation of people just started talking like Steve Martin. It was such a huge thing. And then you meet him, and anytime I would try and say, oh, I learned really quickly, don't say, oh, that time that you did such and such. And because he didn't want to talk about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My point is he's a terrible man. No. My point is that it's hard it doesn't lead anywhere. Like, you can love a musician, and if you just go up to them and say, boy, your music has really meant, they've heard that before. Mm-hmm. And there's a way to connect to them where you're both people in the world trying to figure stuff out.
Someone told me, of all these quotes, I can't remember who told me them, but someone told me fame is a mask that destroys the face. And I think,
I know that one.
Who said that?
I know that. I want to try and see if I can remember it.
I think it was
Fame is a mask that destroys the face.
I think it was Avril Lavigne, maybe, but anyway, it was someone said it, and
no, I'm pretty sure it was Kaya Gerber.
That's what it was.
It was Kaya Gerber.
So there's a variation that says celebrity is a mask that eats into the face.
Eats into the face. Yeah,
John Updike.
Yeah, John Updike.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. But anyway,
and his face was just riddled with sores and open wounds. Because he got too famous.
It was really antibiotic-resistant MRSA that ate his face. And he blamed it.
He blamed it on his fame as an author.
It's like, you're not that famous, John Updike. You're fine. No one's recognizing you.
He went around.
Freddy Krueger.
Later in life, he wore a Freddy Krueger mask. And went around and went, of course, I'm John Updike. I wrote the Rabbit series, and I can't take off this mask.
I do want to say, no joke. Have you met? What is happening between you two?
Just his look at me like, did you catch that joke? I
went down a John Updike rabbit hole as Freddie, and I look over, and Sona was looking at me like she was watching a man go underwater for the 9th time, never to return. Oh, look at him. He's drowning.
It's like you felt like he was looking to see, like, hey, I knew.
Yeah.
Is it
yeah.
one rabbit?
I usually give him whatever validation he's looking for, but sometimes I just don't, and sometimes I just stare at it.
John Updike wearing a mask showing up at a party wasn't doing it for you. So.